In the early hours of January 3, 2026, the United States launched a decisive military operation in Venezuela, codenamed Operation Absolute Resolve, that resulted in the capture of President Nicolás Maduro and his wife, Cilia Flores. The mission marked an unprecedented direct U.S. military action against a sitting head of state, drawing comparisons to historic interventions such as the 1989 Panama operation. The operation began with coordinated airstrikes and precision attacks on Venezuelan air defenses and infrastructure across northern Venezuela, including around Caracas. These strikes were designed to degrade radar, missile systems, and command and control networks to enable unimpeded movement of U.S. forces. Simultaneously, U.S. Special Operations Forces moved into Caracas. Leveraging detailed intelligence and targeting, they breached Maduro's fortified residence, capturing him and his wife without reported serious injuries to the principals. Afterward, both were transported to a U.S. naval vessel and subsequently flown to the United States to face long-standing federal indictments on narcotics and narco-terrorism charges. It has now come to light that U.S. Navy electronic warfare jets played a key role in the operation. In this video, Defense Updates analyzes how EA-18G Growler crippled Venezuelan air defense assets. Before we proceed, a word on NordVPN, which is one of the most trusted and fastest VPN brand that has a no-log policy validated by Deloitte. NordVPN provides a 256-bit encrypted tunnel that protects your privacy and also enables you to access contents that are blocked based on geolocation. Its threat protection system helps you avoid phishing, scams, and malware. NordVPN application is available for all the major platforms as well as browsers. Get an exclusive NordVPN deal with massive saving by going to nordvpn.com/defense or clicking the link in the description. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. Derived from the FA-18F Super Hornet, the EA-18G replaced the older EA-6B Prowler and entered U.S. Navy service in 2009. Since then, it has become the backbone of American airborne electronic warfare. The EA-18G Growler is not a strike aircraft in the conventional sense. Its primary mission is not to deliver munitions, but to control the invisible battlespace of electromagnetic energy, which has become just as decisive as physical airspace in contemporary combat. Outfitted with a complex network of sensors, receivers, and electronic attack systems, the aircraft can intercept hostile radar signals, interpret them almost instantly, and respond with customized jamming patterns. These countermeasures can confuse enemy operators with phantom contacts, distort targeting data, or sever radar tracking altogether, preventing hostile forces from reliably detecting or engaging friendly aircraft. At the core of the Growler's EW capability is the AN/ALQ-218V2 Tactical Jamming Receiver System. This passive sensor suite continuously scans the radio frequency environment, detecting radar and communication signals emitted by enemy systems. Unlike traditional radars, the ALQ-218 does not emit energy. Instead, it listens, geolocates, and classifies emitters based on their unique signatures. This allows the Growler to build a real-time electronic order of battle, identifying threat radars, tracking their movement, and cueing jamming responses with extreme precision. For active electronic attack, the Growler relies on the AN/ALQ-99 Tactical Jamming System, TJS. This system consists of multiple externally mounted pods, each covering a specific frequency band. These pods transmit powerful, focused jamming signals that can overwhelm or confuse enemy radars. The ALQ-99 can employ a variety of techniques, including noise jamming, deception jamming, and range gate pull-off, depending on the threat being countered. Although effective, the ALQ-99 is an aging system and is gradually being replaced. That replacement is the Next Generation Jammer, NGJ, which represents a major leap forward in EW technology. The NGJ uses active electronically scanned array, AESA, transmitters, similar in principle to modern fighter radars but optimized for jamming. These arrays can steer beams electronically, generate multiple jamming effects simultaneously, and adapt in real time to changing threat conditions. The NGJ also offers dramatically higher power output, greater range, and improved reliability compared to legacy pods. The Growler is also equipped with advanced communications countermeasures, allowing it to disrupt enemy voice and data links, not just radar systems. This capability can fracture command and control networks, isolating frontline units from higher headquarters and degrading coordinated defense. To manage this complex web of sensors and transmitters, the Growler uses powerful onboard mission computers and specialized EW operator stations. Unlike most fighters, the EA-18G carries a second crew member, the Electronic Warfare Officer, EWO, who manages jamming assignments, threat libraries, and emitter prioritization in real time. Together, these systems transform the Growler into more than a jammer. It becomes a spectrum control platform, capable of suppressing air defenses, escorting strike packages, protecting high-value aircraft, and enabling stealth fighters to operate with near impunity. Growler aircraft were among more than 150 U.S. warplanes deployed over Venezuelan airspace on January 3rd as part of the raid on Maduro's compound. During the Venezuela mission, Growlers reportedly operated alongside a wide array of U.S. military aircraft, including F-22 Raptors, F-35 Lightning II jets, B-1B bombers, Super Hornets, and long-endurance reconnaissance drones. This mix of platforms highlights a deliberate operational philosophy, achieving not just air superiority, but comprehensive control of both the electromagnetic and physical battlespace. The scale and diversity of this force package reflected Washington's emphasis on overwhelming dominance, where kinetic firepower, stealth, intelligence, and electronic warfare are fused into a single integrated combat system. In this construct, the Growler serves as the silent enabler, shaping the battlespace long before the first missile is launched. U.S. officials have not publicly detailed the specific role of Growlers or other aircraft in the operation, citing operational security. But discussions in military media and analysis suggest that controlling the electromagnetic environment was a central component of the assault's success, providing a narrow but critical window for U.S. forces to move without effective radar-guided resistance. Crucially, unlike many specialized platforms, the Growler is designed to operate from both aircraft carriers and forward land bases, allowing it to project electronic dominance deep into contested regions. In modern warfare, where sensors and networks often matter more than firepower, the Growler's specialized hardware makes it one of the most strategically valuable aircraft in the U.S. arsenal. Viewers may note that Venezuela's air defense architecture has historically been among the most complex in Latin America, built around Russian and, to a lesser extent, Chinese systems intended to protect its sovereign airspace. At the core of this network are long-range S-300VM SAM batteries. These systems are complemented by medium-range Buk M2E SAMs and legacy S-125 Pechora 2M units, forming a multi-layered surface-to-air umbrella when fully operational. In addition to these missile systems, Venezuela has incorporated man-portable air defense systems, MANPADS, such as the Eagle-I-S, to provide short-range point defense. Radar coverage has been augmented by systems like Chinese JY-27A and JYL-1 long-range early warning radars, which are designed to enhance detection of airborne targets over broader swaths of territory. The country also has 20 to 24 Russian-built Sukhoi Su-30 Mk2, multi-role fighters, and a small number of F-16AB Fighting Falcons, originally purchased in the 1980s. So penetrating Venezuelan airspace was not without risk, and this is where Growler came in. Growler's capability directly weakens both ground-based air defense systems and fighter radar, making it far harder for them to establish accurate firing solutions. Rather than functioning solely as a self-defense platform, the Growler acts as an electronic guardian, reducing the exposure of every aircraft operating within its protective envelope. It allows bombers, refueling tankers, reconnaissance platforms, and stealth fighters to penetrate contested zones with far lower risk. A single Growler can dramatically improve the survivability of an entire air package. Because of this, defense specialists frequently label the Growler a force multiplier.